Welcome to the next video in my Making Browser Games Beginning Programming web series, and in this video I'm going to be covering user input. In the last video I just covered variables and different variable operations. So there's strings, which are just words, booleans, true or false, integers, which are whole numbers, floating points, which are decimals, and I just showed the different mathematical operations that we could do with those values. But in the future, when we start making games, our code is going to have to be a little bit more dynamic than this. If I run this and open the console, which you open the console by either clicking F12 or just right clicking and then inspect, or yes, inspect. Now I have the console selected and I see all the values that I am logging using the console.log command here. But every single time I refresh the page, I get the exact same result. This is completely static. This would not work for a game because there's only one outcome. And I can change some of these values to get a second outcome, get something slightly different. But either way, anyone can just look at this code and tell you exactly how this is going to run. But games don't work that way. There's different player decisions and AI make different decisions. And every single time you run a game, you're going to get a different result. And a big part of that is user input. Today I'm going to be covering user input, how the user, whoever's on the website, can enter values into the code for processing. So we get different results each time. So I'm going to delete all the code from last time and I'm going to introduce a new command, prompt. I'm going to type prompt with 2 parentheses and a semicolon as always. Now the prompt command is a function. I'm going to be using those words interchangeably, function, command. And you can tell it's a function because it has 2 parentheses here, just like how console.log is a function, it also has 2 parentheses. Alright, but prompt is a special function because if I run this code, it's actually going to ask whoever's on the website to enter a value in. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to refresh the code. And now I get this pop-up window. This page says, and there's just this empty box where I can type in anything I want and click OK. That's what the prompt command does. It allows me, who's on the website, to enter data into the website. But that wasn't entirely useful. We didn't do anything with that data, and we didn't process it. And the way we actually save that data is we create a variable. So I'm actually going to use a name example. Var name is equal to prompt. So now this prompt command, which we previously didn't save the result of, that nonsense I entered earlier, that never got saved into any variable of any kind. That's the whole point of variables, to save data. Well, now we have a variable, var name, and it's going to save whatever prompt gives us or whatever I choose to type in. But just to make sure this works, I'm also going to spit out this name variable right back. I'm going to put console.log name. So whatever I type in here in the pop-up window is going to get saved into name, and then name is going to get outputted to the console. Let's see that. Alright, so here's the pop-up window. I'm going to put Matt and then click OK. And the console immediately adds Matt. Now we actually received the data and did some minimal processing of it by logging it. And we can add multiple different prompt commands. So the next one, I'll just have the user enter a number. Var number is equal to prompt once again. And again, you need to say number is equal to prompt, because if I just have prompt by itself, in the moment, whatever I choose to type in is going to get lost forever because I don't have a variable to catch whatever the user types in. So I have the number, the user is going to add it, and then once again I'm just going to say console.log and then number. Just some very minimal processing. But also, let's add something before I forget. Inside of these parentheses, you can tell the user what data you want. Just like how in console, console.log. I can put a message, my message, and the only rules with this are you need to enclose your message into parentheses. Well, you can do the exact same thing with the prompt command. I'm going to add here, enter your name, again with two quotation marks, and here I'm going to put enter a number. And now I saved the file here. I'm going to refresh the page. And this time, the pop-up window is not just this page says. It adds this message that I added, enter your name. So I'm going to put Matt. And right away, we see Matt to the console. Let's add the number. I'm going to put 13. And then 13 gets added to the console as well. That concludes the prompt command, but I'm going to show one other user input command that is also useful. So prompt lets us add any value that we choose to put inside of this box here, anything we want, but there's one command that will only let us do true or false, and that is confirm. Confirm, it's a command or a function, so it needs to parentheses. And I'm going to put a message just as an example. Are you sure you want to leave the website? So I'm going to run the code, and I'm also going to comment. No, actually, we'll go over comments next time. So I'm going to run this code. I'm just going to click cancel for these first two. Notice how we get null to the console this time. But now the third window, this page says, are you sure you want to leave the website? And there's only two things I can click, OK or cancel. But this time, let's actually save this result, just like how we save the prompt results here and here. Let's save this result. Var, and I'm just going to call this choice, since there's just two different choices that the person on the website can choose. And I'm going to console.log choice. And I'm going to spell it correctly. Now I'm going to save the file, refresh. I'm going to enter Matt1. Are you sure you want to leave the website? Now watch what happens. I'm going to click cancel. We get false. I'm going to run that again. Random value, random value. Are you sure you want to leave the website? I'm going to click OK instead of cancel. True. So that brings me to my conclusion with confirm. Confirm will either return true or false if you press OK or cancel. And just like prompt, if we want to save that true or false value, we have to add it to choice here. And I also don't remember if I showed this in the last video, but I can combine a variable console.log statement with a message console.log statement. So I said console.log, I can put, a message, and if I'm just going to do words, I have to use quotation marks. But if I'm going to console.log a variable, I can put name. But I can combine these both into one log by adding a message plus name. So there's a plus sign, but name is not in parentheses. I mean, quotation marks. I keep mixing those up. Name is not in quotation marks because that's the word name, but without the quotation marks, I want the value of name. And we're just going to do that here. So our output in the console is not just all these random things. Let's make it make a little more sense. Your name is plus name. So I added the string message to a variable. And again, the plus sign is important. This would not work if you forgot it. And also this space sign is important. If I left it out, the console is not going to automatically add it. So it would say your name is Matt, and it would put the name variable and is right next to each other, like that. I don't want that. So I'm going to add a space here. I'm going to do the same with console.log. You entered plus number. And I'm going to delete this last one. And I'm not going to change choice. So I don't remember if I covered that in a previous video. You can combine string messages with variable messages. And if I refresh, we're now going to get some better output. Your name is Matt. You entered 1, true. And now that wraps up user input. I introduced prompt, which will let the user enter any value they want. And I also introduced confirm, which will let the user on the website put true or false, or at least return true or false. And now this is not a part of user input. This is a bonus, but while we're on the subject of these different functions, I want to briefly introduce alert. Alert is another function, and as always, it has 2 parentheses, but it does not return anything. This is not a user input. There's nothing that we can save, but it does add another pop-up window. So if you ever wanted to do a pop-up window, but you didn't want the user to have to, input anything, alert is what you do. You are leaving the page. Now I'm going to save that, and all this is going to do is add a pop-up window with an OK sign. So this is the confirm. I'm going to click OK. And then this is alert. You are leaving the page, OK. Unlike confirm, there's just an OK. There's no OK and cancel. And I just wanted to add that because the alert is really similar to confirm and prompt, and it's good to learn all 3. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.